هشت سال یکی صبح عصر هر روزه بیاد، جمعه نداشته باشه، شنبه نداشته باشه. این موجود نیستشی؟ چی میخوام من از امام چی میخوام؟ جز آخرت دیگه چی دیگه نمیخوام.
This melody has been heard for hundreds of years. It's played from here, looking down on the second biggest shrine on the planet. It's calling on people to come to pray. More than 27 million people travel here every year. It's run by the most powerful non-government organization in Iran. There are thousands of servants here. They volunteer to provide calm and comfort to the pilgrims. They are doctors, scientists, lawyers, and ministers who come to support the pilgrims on their journey to the heart of the shrine.
When I go there, I prefer to prepare this situation for all of them, serve them.
Each servant has their own description of the Imam and his principles.
امامان مظهر اخلاق خدا هستند. اینا مطهرن، اینا مصدقن، اینا هم تصدیق شده هستند و هم تصدیق کننده هستند.
And they all talk about their contribution to the shrine with utmost pride.
ما که خودم هیچیه، این مشهدی ها همه ایرانی ها، نه که مسلمان نشه، اینا همه باید قدر بدنن که همچی یک آقای دله.
This is the story of how the 8th Shia Imam turned the small city of Nuran into one of the most important religious places on earth. This is the story of Imam Reza and his kingdom. There are over 30,000 servants like Dr. Sarafraz and his wife. One of the many highly educated people who serve in the shrine of Imam Reza is Dr. ضامن. He has worked here as a volunteer for about 20 years. He calls it a lifetime opportunity, a small step towards the evolution of man. He believes people are mesmerized by the peace and assurance that the late Imam Reza has to offer.
ای انسان غافل، ببین اینا به کجا رسیدن، راه بازه، تو هم میتونی برسی به وسیله ای بزرگوارا. خودتو سعی کن شبیه اینا بکنی. در نتیجه فرهنگ اینجوری زنده است. انسان دوست داره به زائر خدمت کنه. میگه زائر امام رضاست، یعنی وصل به اون مغناطیس. به زائر خدمت کنی، به امام رضا خدمت کردی. به امام رضا خدمت کردی، یعنی در مسیر 100% رضای خداوند قرار گرفتی.
ببینید شما وقتی کسی رو دوست دارید،
Look, when you like someone but are away from them, don't you smell their clothes? If there is a perfume left from them, don't you smell it? If you have a picture of them, don't you look at it? The reason is, since you like your beloved, you cherish everything that reminds you of them. So, if we touch the zarih with our hands, we don't like it in itself. If we kiss a portal of the shrine, we don't like it in itself. These objects have great sentimental value for us, just because they are associated with the Imam in one way or another.
احساسم اینه که هیچ وقت برام عادت نشده. هر روز که میرم فکر میکنم روز اولمه دارم زیارت میکنم. با این ادب زیارت کردم آقا. و کسی که اولین بار باشه چطور گریه میکنه، میگه که خوشحال میشه روز اولشه، اصلا ندیده آقا رو. هر دفعه که برم همین احساس رو دارم و از خدا خواستم امام رضا عنایتی کنه این احساس همینجوری تازه باقی بمونه، عادی نشه.
Serving the people who seem to need it the most, providing calm and comfort to those who want to open their hearts to communicate. They ask for God's support, for His forgiveness. They ask the Imam to wish them well when they make big decisions in life.
That one is, you know, we have academy in United States, Academy of Otolaryngology and head and neck surgery and facial plastic surgery. I am one of the international fellows from American Academy of Otolaryngology head and neck surgery in US.
One spectacle at the Imam's shrine is when people are invited to eat after the prayers. Eating a full meal prepared with care and from the finest quality ingredients. It's not all about the taste, it's the spirit surrounding the food. The visitors believe if they eat this food, it'll make them immune to illness and bring them prosperity.
You may have noticed that a huge number of pilgrims come to the shrine's dining hall with great enthusiasm. To them, the food served here is not an ordinary food. There are pilgrims from abroad who like to take some salt from here, though they can find it everywhere else outside the shrine. You can have the best foods in many restaurants outside here. What makes the food served here different is the spiritual attitude the pilgrims have to them. That's why the pilgrims eat some of the food here and take out the rest. There are many pilgrims coming from distant countries, those who come from European countries or Iranian pilgrims who live abroad. They come to have the meals served here. They even send them abroad by air for their relatives and friends.
This huge task of providing services requires a massive force. People don't get lost here. If they are old and infirm, there's always a helping hand. The team that manages all this is called Astan Quds Razavi, an autonomous charitable foundation. With 400 years of recorded history, the longest-lasting organization since the martyrdom of Imam Reza about 1,200 years ago. The institution's main resource is endowments. It is a major economic player in the Middle East. Since the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran, this foundation has turned the Imam Reza Shrine into one of the greatest educational institutions in the region. The Imam Reza complex now houses a library, museums, schools and universities, hospitals and factories, all administered by Astan Quds.
Astan Quds Razavi is a very big foundation. It has 20,000 personnel in Mashhad. There are also hundreds of thousands of people who work indirectly for the Astan Quds. That's why there are around 30,000 honorary personnel in the holy shrine of Imam Reza, from physicians, engineers, businessmen, students, farmers, and so forth. They work here as servants, doormen, guards, and the like.
There are nearly 100 companies, out of which about 51 are stock companies. The shares begin from 2% to 50%. There are more than 45 companies that the Astan Quds has got 100% of the shares. The companies the Astan Quds owns invest in farming, constructing, mining, and producing food and industrial products.
Many pilgrims who come to Mashhad, or those who have heard the name of Astan Quds Razavi, may think that the foundation has only to do with the holy shrine, but it has a very big library, which is unequaled in the Islamic world. There are many precious manuscripts as great treasures of our cultural heritage in the library. The oldest manuscript is perhaps a copy of the Holy Quran by Ibn Simjur, dating back to the early 9th century, that is to say, more than 1,000 years ago.
The library of Astana Quds is considered as one of the most important treasures of the recorded knowledge of Iran and the Islamic world. The library holds over 1.1 million books. It is an international center for Islamic research with numerous manuscripts and rare works of antiquity of Islamic history.
This is the book bank of the lithographical section of the books. And in this section we have 46,000 just lithography books. And the oldest books available in this section is the Quran, which belongs to the 190 years ago. It comes exactly on 1,250 years of the lunar calendar. So this is the collection of the only lithography books with this number. But beside that, we have the book bank of the manuscripts, which having more than nearly 90,000, and the exact number goes to 87,000 manuscripts. One of the most important section of these manuscripts they are very unique. Sometimes the only copy we keep in the book bank. And the most important section of them goes to the Qurans written by the Imams. The first starts from the Imam Ali alayhi salam, then goes to Imam Hassan Mushtaba, the writings of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, then comes Imam Zain al-Abidin, then comes up to Imam Reza alayhi salam, which we have the original handwritings and the Quran written by the sacred hands. Then goes to the Iranian scientists like Avicenna, then comes Abul Futuh Razi, then comes Biruni's books, then great and outstanding scholars, religious scholars like Sheikh Bahai, Sheikh Hurr Amli's writings. And another distinguished feature of this book bank is it is not only rich in the Islamic manuscripts and the written books. We have so many books on many subjects like geometry, mathematics, then herbal medicine. Herbal medicine, we have the books like Zakhire Kharazm Shahian, 7 volumes, and all kinds of the properties of the herbs and the medicines and the symptoms of the diseases are collected in that book. The book is having nearly 190 years, and what we see in this page is how the binding section they have preserved it, and these are the newly preserved and mended. And the original pages, this book is Quran. Of course, the name of the author is here, Muhammad Hussein al-Isfahani, and it is published in Tabriz, and 1,250 years lunar calendar. This is the date of publication is 1,254. According to the number of the page is here. The language is Arabic, of course. The dimension of the pages, of course, here, and the calligraphy, as you know, in our Iranian calligraphy is called Naskh, the name of calligraphy, and the type of calligraphy.
بخشی که در خدمتتون هستیم تالار کتاب‌های خارجی کتابخانه مرکزی آستان قدس رضوی مشهد هست. در این بخش ما بالغ بر 102,000 جلد کتاب داریم به 91 زبان و عرض کنم خدمتتون که به 73 زبان هم قرآن داریم که موجود هست. بعد قدیمی ترین کتابی که در این کتابخانه موجود است به زبان لاتین و خط لاتین است که ملاحظه می‌فرمایید تاریخش 1473 میلادی است که در اوایل اختراع صنعت چاپ است. این کتاب 2 جلدی است که قاموس یا واژه‌نامه کتاب مقدس هست که اینی که ما موجود داریم جلد 2 هست از قاموس کتاب مقدس به خط لاتین. در این کتابخانه ما حدود 2000 جلد کتاب‌های نفیس و قدیمی داریم که تاریخش قبل از 1900 میلادی هست و یکی از مهمترین منابع و مجموعه‌های کتابخانه‌ای به زبان لاتین و زبان‌های غیر از فارسی و عربی رو ما در این مجموعه داریم. بعد مجموعه آثار ادبی هست، تاریخی هست که به زبان‌های مختلف، اینها اکثراً توسط اشخاص و شخصیت‌های معروفی که کتاب جمع آوری می‌کردن و اینها علاقمند به کتاب بودن اهدا شده به کتابخانه آستان قدس.
در همین حرم مطهر یکی
One of the cultural institutions in the Holy Shrine is open around the clock, and every year hundreds of orators and researchers deliver their speeches in the shrine, which has expanded very much in recent years. It's worth mentioning that the Holy Shrine of Imam Reza is the only religious place around the world in which different Islamic arts like mirror work, tile work, stucco work, carving, and the like have been used.
جایی که در اماکن مذهبی دنیا انواع هنرهای مختلف، هنرهای اسلامی در اونجا به کار برده شده حرم حضرت رضاست.
The Treasury's Office of Astan Quds comprises of the Central Museum with 12 different specialized museums packed with endowments. At this place, the best of Islamic art and architecture can be seen in the unique and significant monuments where Islamic art and faith are embedded. There are also gifts and endowments that are too valuable to be placed on walls or kept in libraries.
اینجا سالنی هستش که معمولاً معروف هست به سالن درهای طلا و نقره. یکی از سالن‌ها
Here is a hall known as the Hall of Golden and Silver Doors. In fact, this is one of the halls in the Museum of the Shrine. As you know, every building has a door. As an entry to a building, a door can have symbolic significance as well. We have to get permission whenever we want to enter a place, especially if that place is a sacred one. In the beginning, the shrine has just one door in front of the building. On the other sides of the shrine, there were only windows, and the pilgrims used to see the zari through them. It was just during the Safavid era that another door was built on the other side of the shrine. This was the first step to expand the shrine. The door was gilded and decorated with jewelry. At the moment, only a few pieces of the jewelry have been left on the door. Most of them got lost during periods of political turbulence. Then, during the Qajar era, the door was gilded again, and many eulogic poems about Imam Reza were etched on it.
این مجموعه داستان بسیار زیبایی داره.
This collection has a very interesting story. 28 parts of this ancient manuscript of the Holy Quran were preserved in the Astan Quds library. However, 2 parts of it were missing. The head of the library in Astan Quds realized the 2 missing parts were in a library in Tehran. To cut the long story short, they found that a construction worker had found pages of the 2 parts within the layers of the dome and sold them to an antique dealer in Mashhad, who in turn sold them to another antique dealer in Tehran. There, a man bought them and donated them to a library.
Iranian-American Amir Joshanpoush is a frequent visitor to the Holy Shrine. He is a professor at the American World University in North California. His connection with the Imam is a unique one.
ببینید امام رضا تو زندگی ما جزو از خانواده ما شده. طوری که اسم امام رضا رو بچه هامون میذاریم، به وجودش اعتقاد داریم و اون چرا که کسی باور نمیکنه ازمون به اسم امام رضا قسم میخوریم.
Despite being a regular visitor, this is his first time to see some of the new buildings. He's particularly fascinated by the library.
Today I have this opportunity and this chance to see this library, and I was amazed. Believe me, I was amazed how many departments they have, how they take care of the books, how they transfer the books, how the people transfer book from handwriting to the CDs. I mean, you know, it can be 100 years later, people can use it. I see everything I have to see. It looks like a dream coming true. Now I have to tell my students all over the world what I have because I see it with my eyes. And this is something I don't think so everybody can have this chance. And I'm thankful for Imam Reza because I'm pretty sure he invited me because I believe him since I was 7 years old. And always when I want to help from him, I'm in another country alone like he's in that land. I say, yeah, Imam Reza, help me. And believe me, when I put in my step in the airplane, I say, I'm coming to see you, nobody else. And I'm here, and I'm always can hold on to his zari. Never come here and a crowd or something scared me. Looks like somebody opened the door. My family know it. Every time I say, do you grab it? I say, yes, I did. Did. Because nobody in my way. Look, I'm not looking to the crowd. I'm looking for Zadi. And I'm going and I grab it and hold it for a few minutes. Whatever I want to tell him, and I'm coming.
Imam Reza, peace be upon him, once said, everyone's friend is his reason. His enemy is his ignorance. Some signs of understanding are clemency, knowledge, and silence. Silence is one of the doors to wisdom. It brings about love and is evidence for all good. Preparations are being made to celebrate the Imam's birthday. Since his martyrdom hundreds of years ago, people have celebrated his birthday every year. Everyone's relationship with the Imam is different. Some imagine him as their father, brother, or guardian. To others, he's an absolute guide, their pride and joy. The love of Imam Reza is manifested in every single tile on these walls, bringing a special personal impression full of beauty and affection.